Hi there. Welcome to our last part of the series on burnout. Now, just recap what we've done. It's basically us looking at the 12 stages of burnout, also realizing that burnout is very common. It's something also that goes unchecked because it's a series of habits that don't serve us, but are left unchecked, are left unchanged. And for the most part, I suppose they're left unnoticed. They're not seen, they're not recognized. And so we need to be able to see something. We need to be aware of it in order to change it. And even when we are aware of something, in order to change it, we've got to choose to change it and we've got to know how to change it. So it's very easy for lots of people to end up in these stages of burnout. And of course, what I've also said as well is that these stages are not necessarily linear. They aren't all nice little check blocks to click, off we go. They can appear in people differently. They can be in a different order. But this is just an understanding of a framework so that you're able to recognize it's a tool for you to see, okay, maybe I am in that stage. So when we look at the last three stages of burnout, we're looking at that whole inner emptiness where you feel hollow. But of course, when you see along the way, you've given up yourself, you've given up what you enjoy, you've given up what's important to you, your values have changed. Everything else comes before. You've also socially alienated, you have isolated yourself. And so with that, of course, also comes that whole idea of just being empty, of feeling like you aren't here. You're just a hollow shape. It'd be interesting to see, okay, how have you experienced that? And so, of course, with that then comes the stage of depression. And you would imagine, like, okay, depression, that it would be the last stage. But depression is something that people go, okay, depression also appears in people differently. Some people have, like, it's a heaviness. Some people have, you can also have active forms of depression where you are still able to go out there and work and do things and put one step, one foot in front of the other. For other people, it's very debilitating. It's very heavy. It's dark. So there again, how you have experienced depression, or maybe you are experiencing depression, may be different. So certainly in my group on depression, boredom, and loneliness, you get so many different ways that people experience depression. And then the last stage of depression is when your body says, we're done. Okay. That is the shutdown stage. That is where physically, emotionally, mentally closed for business. Your body shuts down. Okay. Your mind shuts down. It says, we're done. And that then is the last stage of burnout. A lot, a lot easier than we think. When we look at our habits, when we look at the things that we're doing, it's so much easier than, like we can look at other people and go, oh, but how did you end up there? Easy when we are caught up in what we do each day. Easy when we're not prioritizing ourselves. Easy when we aren't checking to see, oh, where the changes. Remember also we come up with coping strategies. So some people may hit the exercise more than others, but also we have coping strategies that help in the interim, but don't help long term. So things like alcohol, drugs, and certainly carbs, which all make us feel better because they release happy hormones. In the short term, they really help, but in the long term, they have a negative impact on us, which is something we don't necessarily choose when we're using that as a coping mechanism. So I hope that you've enjoyed our series on burnout. I am hoping that you may recognize yourself in one of these stages, if indeed you are in one of these stages, and to reach out to professional help for professional help, because there is professional help out there. You do not have to do this on your own. So as I say every time, please remember that I have a free 30-minute complimentary session, discovery session, chemistry call, whatever you'd like to call it. And that is for you to see if I could be your coach, if we are a match. Also remember that you're loved, you matter, and you're not alone. I'm Colleen Quist, and we'll see you next time.